Hello everyone, Alicia here with another lightened up Weight Watcher friendly recipe, and today I'm getting ready to do my breakfast prep for breakfast sandwiches, and that starts off with easy sheet pan eggs. I love sheet pan everything. This is just another sheet pan recipe that I like to do, and so I thought I would share it with you guys. It's a great way to make up a bunch of eggs at one time if you're wanting to meal prep or you're cooking for multiple people. So I wanted to share this with you guys because again, it's very easy and it's just a really good way to make up a bunch of eggs. So let me jump in first and I'll show you what you're gonna need to make this. First off, you're gonna need 12 large eggs. Next up, you're gonna need some milk. I'm using this unsweetened almond milk. You can use whatever type of milk you want. I just like the almond milk, but you're gonna need a 1/4 cup. Next up, you're gonna need some cheese. I'm just gonna be using this Lucerne reduced fat sharp cheddar. I'm gonna use half of this brick, which is 4 ounces, and I'm gonna shred that up. And that ends up being roughly a cup of shredded cheese. For seasoning in this, you can do whatever you want. I'm just gonna show you kind of how I do it. So first off, I like to add a little granulated garlic. I'm gonna be adding probably about a 1/2 teaspoon of that. I also like to add a little fresh cracked black pepper, probably 1/4 teaspoon, some kosher salt, a teaspoon, a little bit of onion powder, about a 1/2 teaspoon. Now I really like adding mustard to my eggs. I know some people don't, so if you don't like that, you can definitely omit this. But I'm gonna be adding a teaspoon of this dry mustard. You could also add a teaspoon of Dijon if you don't have dry mustard, that works well too. And then finally, you're gonna need some cooking spray for your pan, and that is everything that's in this. Like I said, very, very simple. Let me get us started. First off, in a medium-sized bowl, I'm gonna add in all of my eggs. Next up, I'm gonna add in my almond milk. I'm gonna add in my teaspoon salt, about a 1/4 teaspoon, cracked pepper, 1/2 teaspoon garlic, 1/2 teaspoon onion, and my teaspoon dry mustard. And then I'm gonna whisk all of that together really well. Put those all whisked together really well. So now I'm gonna grab myself a sheet pan. So this sheet pan is called a jelly roll size, and it's a 10 by 15 inch. That's what I like to use for these. You could use a little smaller, a little bigger if you want. But the cooking time will change a little bit with a little smaller or larger pan. But this is what I'm using. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to line it with some parchment. And then I'm gonna spray that parchment with some cooking spray. And that way these eggs should come right out nice and easy, which is what we want. So I'm gonna take my eggs now and I'm gonna just pour them on my sheet. And this is now ready to go in my preheated oven at 375 for about 12 to 15 minutes. I wanna get it to where it's almost completely done. And then at that point, I'm gonna add the cheese and cook it an additional few minutes more. But I'm gonna let this go probably about, like I said, 12, 15 minutes when it's looking like it's almost done. So I'll be back at that point. I let these bake for 12 minutes and they're looking almost done. So while they're baking, I shredded up my cheese. So I'm gonna add that to the top now. And I did forget to mention what you're looking for as far as done on these. If you wanna do temp-wise, it is gonna be an internal temp of 160 on the eggs. And I'm almost there now. So I'm gonna just put this cheese on and pop it back in for another couple minutes to let this melt and get those eggs fully cooked. Like I said, they're pretty close right now. Okay, so I'm gonna pop that back in and then I'll be back when these are done. I let those bake just another 2 minutes and it is done. I temp checked the eggs just to make sure they were fully cooked, and they are. So now I'm gonna let this cool just a couple minutes before I slice it up. I'll let these cool just a couple minutes. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove them from my pan. And then I like to cut mine in 9ths. You could cut it in 12s if you wanted, or whatever size you wanted to do, but I usually do mine in 9ths. So cut it roughly in 3rds lengthwise. And then 3rds again. And that is all there is to these super, super easy sheet pan eggs. I'll show you kind of what the thickness is on these. So this being factored in at 9 servings is gonna make each serving just 1 point. So I will show you real quick how I'm gonna be doing these in breakfast sandwiches as well. I made up some of my 2-ingredient dough bagels, and that's what I'm gonna be doing breakfast sandwiches out of this with. So I've got one of these, just sliced it open. And here's what it looks like inside too, by the way. I will have a link for these down below. I'm gonna add 1 ounce of Canadian bacon, my egg, and then I've got 1 ounce here of avocado. And both the avocado and the Canadian bacon are 1 point each. And the bagels are 4 points each. So that's gonna make this breakfast sandwich, as you see it, 7 points. But yeah, just nice, delicious, easy breakfast sandwich. Now these eggs will last in the fridge about 5 days. You can also freeze them, but you wanna individually wrap them in plastic wrap if you're gonna do that, but they do freeze well. So I wanted to mention that too. But I really love these. They're great all by themselves too, if you just wanna have egg all by itself. They're great on English muffins. They're great on toast. Just however you wanna have them, they are great. They're easy. Like I said, I love the sheet pan. As you can see, super easy cleanup. That comes just right out. And you've got yourself eggs for meal prep, a group of people, whatever it is that you need them for. But yeah, just want to show you guys these because I love them. But be sure to check down in the description box below where you'll find the full list of ingredients, instructions, nutritional info, WW points, WW recipe builder link. All of that is going to be down in the description box below. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.